Ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to stand before you and discuss an essential topic, which is indeed close to my heart: the violence against women and children. As one of the most prevalent violations of human rights worldwide. Yet, it is one of the crimes that is least prosecuted, penalized, and taken with appropriate legal actions. This, in fact, is a global pandemic, which is quite alarming relative to the fundamentals of human rights. Essentially, it is when men consistently fail to recognize the equality and dignity of a woman. When we deeply assess such, we would even find it as a political issue, because it is tied and bundled to the bigger issues of power and control in a society dominated by men. It is an extreme manifestation of gender inequality and gender-based discrimination, and for women and children to live free of threat and violence. It depends mainly on the protection of their human rights and a strong justice system. Yes, the countries of today have enacted and enforced laws on violence against women and children. Like here in our country, we have the Republic Act 9262, known as the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004, which recognizes the need to protect the family and its member, particularly women and children, from violence and threat to their personal safety and security. Nonetheless, just like any other laws that we have, the strict enforcement of it remains an issue. The very effects of violence can stay with both women and children for a long time, and worse, even for a lifetime, which can even be passed from generation to generation. It is not merely about harming an individual, but it has a deeper impact for families and in the society. It has remarkable costs to communities for public well-being, health and safety, productivity, law enforcement, government's programs and projects, investments, and all other resources. It poses great risks and severe consequences for current and future generations, and for all the efforts to ensure peace and security, to reduce poverty, and to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, so as to promote just, peaceful, and inclusive societies. First, to prevent violence, we should look into the very root cause of gender inequality and discrimination, and address it in such way that the root will not be able to stem out more issues and concerns. Studies reveal that women are more likely to be subjected to violence when the gender gap is far greater in terms of health, education, participation in the country, as well as representation in key government positions. The empowerment of women is the prevention strategy so as to take long-term and comprehensive approach which recognizes and protects the full and equal rights of women and children. Also, the culture of equality between men and women must be strongly advocated and even institutionalized through legal reform, education, raising of awareness, and full cooperation and commitment of men. Second, to protect rights, the various national legislation, practices, and customs must be thoroughly reviewed in order to completely eradicate those that discriminate against women and children. Government policies and programs that clearly prohibit and punish violence must be put in place, enacted, and implemented in line with international agreements. Such agreements also call for strong action to improve the quality and accessibility of multi-sectoral services, regardless of age, skin color, educational attainment, income, and location. As I have read in one of the United Nations articles, these multi-sectoral services must include shelter, telephone hotlines, social assistance, and healthcare services, with post-rape care and emergency contraception, where psychological support and counseling are put in place and made accessible to all. Imagine a rape survivor or a woman who is beaten by her husband must have some place to go to enjoy shelter, safety, and sanity. These form of responses must be timely and efficient to end the culture of hopelessness and foster a culture of justice and support. Third, to prosecute the offenders. It is but a fact that to end impunity, the laws must be strictly enforced. Women must have safe access to police or other concerned authorities to file a report and consequently receive legal advice and protection orders. And these must be immediate, well coordinated, and effective enough so that perpetrators are punished and justice is secured. The justice system must be accessible and responsive to criminals and civil matters relating to violence against women. Women must be informed of their legal rights, and they must be supported all throughout in the navigation of the legal system. As such, we need the participation of more women serving on the frontliners of justice, such as police officers, prosecutors, and judges, to strengthen the integrity and justice for women and children. Indeed, there is so much to do to respond to the cries for justice of women and children who have suffered extreme violence. It is but high time for a more concrete action. The need to eliminate harassment and violence everywhere. The different sectors in the society, both public and private, must work hand in hand to end these horrible abuses and impunity that allows human rights violations to continue. There is so much to do, and I want you to be part of it. Perhaps we can start by inculcating to the minds and hearts of school-age children that coercion, violence, and discrimination against girls, young ladies, and women are all unacceptable. Thank you.